Focus on yourself, not others. What if the biggest barrier to your success is your own habit of looking at everyone else? In a world of social feeds and constant comparisons, it's all too easy to get caught up in the highlights of other people's lives, their victories, their lifestyles, their pace, and then wonder why you're not as far along. But every minute you spend looking outward is a minute you're not investing in your own growth. The more you fixate on others, the more scattered and discouraged you become about your own journey. The truth is, focusing on others creates distraction, while focusing on yourself creates direction. As soon as you stop chasing someone else's timeline and commit to your own path, everything begins to change. You reclaim the time and energy for your own dreams. Remember, success is never born from comparison. It comes from clarity of purpose, disciplined effort, and doing the work that actually moves you forward. When you bring your attention back to what you can control and create, you reclaim the power to shape your future. How do you break free from the toxic cycle of comparison and redirect your focus inward? In the journey ahead, you'll discover how to silence the noise of outside opinions, let go of the need for external approval, and train your mind to stay centered on your own path. Even when distractions surround you, imagine for a moment that you are standing firmly at the center of your own universe. Everything happening around you, every goal you aspire to, and every vision you hold dear begins with you. This isn't just a comforting metaphor, it's a powerful truth. Embracing it will transform the way you think, act, and ultimately the way your life unfolds. Reclaim the center of your universe. This profound truth is more than just an idea. It's the foundation of personal greatness. Your life will unfold exactly as you command it to, once you learn to command it within your own mind. History's most successful figures prove this point. They did not start their journeys with endless resources or special favors from the world. In fact, they often began with nothing tangible at all. What they did have was a definite purpose and an unshakable belief in their own potential. Every one of them made a clear decision to become the master of their own fate, refusing to let outside circumstances dictate their destiny. Consider Andrew Carnegie, who rose from dire poverty in a one-room cottage. When Carnegie arrived in America, he had no money, no prestigious education, and no family connections to open doors for him. What he carried instead was a burning vision, a desire so fierce that no hardship could extinguish it. Carnegie understood something most people miss. The greatest limits in life are rarely imposed by the outside world. They are the limits we place on ourselves through limited thinking. He refused to measure himself against others. He didn't envy those born into fortune, and he wasn't intimidated by those who seemed more educated or more privileged than him. Instead, he turned inward. He studied his own strengths and weaknesses. He mastered his thoughts. He poured every ounce of mental and physical energy into the vision he had chosen for his life. In doing so, he planted himself firmly at the center of his universe and made the world yield to his will. The lesson here is clear. Stop looking sideways. Your neighbor's success has nothing to do with your potential. The promotions, trophies, or acclaim of people around you are not your compass. You are not here to live someone else's dream. You are here to awaken and fulfill your own. Every time you compare your progress to someone else's, you give away a piece of your power. You move the center of your universe outside of yourself. And once your focus drifts to the external, your thoughts scatter, your actions become reactive, and your results grow inconsistent and hollow. It's time to reclaim the throne of your own mind. You must believe, without any doubt, that your ideas, values, and ambitions truly matter. They matter more than what anyone else is doing or saying. They matter more than your current circumstances. They even matter more than the fears and doubts that nag at you. When you begin to operate from this inner center of gravity, life stops simply happening to you and starts happening for you. Your thoughts become sharper and more purposeful. Your vision narrows into focus. Your actions line up with your purpose. And the universe, strange and mysterious as it sometimes is, begins to bend in your favor. Always remember, all great change begins within. Every achievement starts as a thought. Before a skyscraper rises, its blueprint is drawn. Before a fortune is earned, a vision is conceived. Before a person achieves power or success, they discipline their mind to think like a winner. Everything you build in the external world is first created in the workshop of your mind. So what is the vision burning within you? What goal or idea shines so brightly in your heart that you know it's meant for you? Don't waste time asking whether it's realistic or whether others will approve. Instead, ask yourself if this dream is truly yours, if it ignites your soul. If the answer is yes, then stop waiting for permission. Stop looking for outside signs or someone to tell you now is the time. Stop hesitating and doubting yourself. Seize the reins of your inner world and declare that you are the master of your fate. You are not here to imitate others. You are here to create something new. Remember, the greatest souls in history did not achieve greatness by following the crowd or living as copycats. They succeeded because they listened to their own inner voice and dared to follow it. You have that same inner voice within you. It has been with you all along, patiently waiting for you to pay attention. Stand tall, look within, and start building the life that only you can build. You are the center of your universe. Never forget it. Cultivate unwavering self-belief. Look back at any person who achieved something truly remarkable, and you will find one trait in common: an unwavering belief in themselves. This isn't arrogance or blind ego. It's a deep inner conviction, a certainty that their vision is worth every ounce of effort and sacrifice, no matter the obstacles. They believe in their mission before any evidence confirms it. That self-belief is what carries them through adversity and fuels their climb to greatness. Take Thomas Edison as an example. It's said that Edison failed over 10,000 times while inventing the light bulb. Almost anyone else would have surrendered long before reaching that breakthrough. Most people would have said enough after a fraction of those failures. They would have pointed to all the wasted effort, the exhaustion, the years slipping by, and convinced themselves that success just wasn't meant to be. Not Edison. He held an unshakable belief in the worth of his idea. Each failure to him wasn't proof of inadequacy. It was proof that he was one step closer. He refused to measure his progress against those who quit early. He never asked, "Why is this taking me so long when others find success faster?" Instead, he understood a truth that few do. Failure is not a verdict, it's feedback. Every failed attempt taught Edison something. Each misstep revealed a piece of the puzzle and refined his approach. This perspective, seeing failure as feedback and not as the final word, is the spirit you must carry forward in your own life. Remember, you too have within you a seed of greatness, quietly waiting for you to have faith in it. It's waiting for you to act on it and nurture it with persistence, discipline, and courage. But above all, it's waiting for your belief. Belief is not a luxury reserved for the lucky or the gifted. It is the foundation underneath every success story. Without self-belief, the greatest idea will remain a wish. Without self-belief, a goal stays a daydream. Your best talents stay unused, and your brightest dreams eventually fade into regret. Understand that having doubts or feeling fear doesn't make you weak. It makes you human. Every man or woman who ever accomplished something meaningful walked through a valley of uncertainty. The difference is that they kept walking. They did not let fear steer the wheel. They did not hand control over to self-doubt. Instead, they treated doubt as a signal to strengthen their resolve. They fortified their belief like a fortress, repeating their vision to themselves until it became an unshakable truth. When no one else believed in their dream, they believed. They stood by it when it was nothing but a fragile idea, nurturing it until it gained strength. Now ask yourself, what do you believe about you? Do you believe you are capable of more than what you've shown so far? Do you believe that your dreams are valid and worth pursuing? Do you believe that your efforts have meaning and that your ideas deserve a chance? If you do, then start living like it. Speak as someone who believes in their own potential. Walk as someone who knows they belong on the path to greatness. Plan, think, and move as if you are already the person you aspire to become. Build your life with the quiet confidence that success is not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, as long as you refuse to give up. Don't wait for the world to validate your dream. That's a fool's game. If you seek permission or approval from others to believe in yourself, you will be waiting forever. Validation must begin within. The very moment you decide to trust in your own power, your own path, and your own possibilities, you set a remarkable process in motion. Suddenly, you start drawing success toward you. The right people, opportunities, ideas, and resources find their way into your life, not by coincidence, but as a direct response to the energy of your conviction. This is the secret that all great achievers know. Belief is a choice. It's not just an emotion that happens to you. It's a decision you make, daily, hourly, and in every moment. And the more you choose to believe in yourself, the more powerful you become. Each time you affirm your faith in your purpose, you become a little more unstoppable. Each day you stand behind your dream. You discover more of the vast potential that has been within you all along. So don't put off believing in yourself. Don't tell yourself you'll be confident someday, or once you reach a certain milestone. Decide to believe in you right now. Everything you desire in life is waiting on the other side of that decision. It's like a door standing before you. On the other side is the life you want, and the key to open it is self-belief. Take that key, open the door, and step through it. Let the world witness what happens when someone carries a mind fueled by genuine belief, because that is when miracles begin, and that is when your true potential is unleashed. Set a clear vision and bold goals. Imagine sailing on a vast ocean without a compass. The winds change, the waves push you in random directions, and you find yourself simply drifting, reacting to the weather and currents with no control over where you're going. Sadly, this is how many people move through life. Aimlessly drifting from day to day without clear goals, letting circumstances dictate their direction. Without a clear destination, you're not really steering your life at all. The most successful individuals refuse to live that way. They define their destination before the journey begins. Consider Walt Disney. Today, his name is synonymous with creativity and wonder across the globe, but his early path was anything but easy. Walt Disney was once fired from a newspaper job because his bosses thought he lacked imagination. He endured bankruptcy, betrayal by colleagues, and door after door slammed in his face. Yet through all of this, Disney clung relentlessly to a single vision. He had an extraordinarily clear picture in his mind of what he wanted to create. Long before anyone else believed in his dreams, he saw them in vivid detail. That clarity of vision became his compass. It guided every decision and fueled his persistence when others would have given up. Disney's story teaches a simple but powerful lesson. Clarity breeds power. When you know exactly what you want, you can marshal all of your mental and emotional resources toward that aim. You begin to filter your world in a new way. Opportunities that align with your vision become easier to recognize. Distractions that don't serve your purpose fall away. Your energy flows where your attention goes, and with a clear target in sight, all that energy is channeled into forward momentum instead of being scattered in confusion. In contrast, a vague dream yields vague results. Saying, "I want to be successful," or "I want to be happy" without definition is like setting sail with no chosen destination. You might move, but you won't know if you're getting any closer to what you truly desire. However, a definite goal, boldly stated and committed to paper, becomes something tangible and real. Write your goal down and it transforms from a mere wish into a concrete objective. Review it every day and it becomes a contract between you and your future. You are essentially saying, "This is where I'm going and I'm willing to do what it takes to get there." So ask yourself right now, where are you going? This isn't a question to be answered casually. Take the time to really think about it. Dig deep, beyond the surface once. What do you truly desire? Not what others expect of you, not what your fears say you're allowed to have, but what your soul genuinely yearns for. Is it financial independence? Mastery of a certain skill or craft? Creative fulfillment? Making a difference in your community? Building a legacy that outlives you? Whatever it is, be specific about it. Clarity means defining the goal in detail. Once you identify that core desire, write it down. Don't let it float around as just a thought. Thoughts are too easily forgotten or doubted. A written goal becomes an anchor in reality. Put your goals on paper, or a screen, or a journal where you can see them. By writing it, you've taken the first step in giving it form. Now, make a habit of revisiting it every single day. Read it each morning or night. Speak it out loud to yourself. Let the vision of that goal burn so brightly in your mind that no setback, no criticism, and no tempting distraction can dim its light. Use your goals as the benchmark for every choice you make. If an action, opportunity, or decision will move you even an inch closer to your goal, give it serious consideration. If it would take you even slightly off course, politely decline or steer away from it. This kind of discipline becomes much easier when your goals are crystal clear. With clarity comes focus. With focus comes momentum. And with enough momentum, you can move mountains. Do not be afraid if your goal is big. Be afraid of not having a goal at all. The greatest tragedy isn't aiming high and falling short. It's aiming too low and achieving a mediocre outcome, or worse, not aiming at all. High aspirations inspire you and everyone around you. Tiny or non-existent goals leave you at the mercy of boredom and drift. Remember the old adage, shoot for the moon. Even if you miss, you'll land among the stars. Dare to set goals that excite and even scare you a little. That fear is just an indicator that your goal matters to you. People who accomplish great things in life are rarely simply lucky. They are intentional. They know what they want and they move with purpose. Instead of scattering their efforts in 100 directions, they pour their efforts into a clear objective. They flow forward like a mighty river, strong, steady, and virtually unstoppable, because they know exactly which way they are heading. You can spot this quality in any champion or leader. A sense of direction that gives their actions cohesion and power. You must cultivate that same sense of direction. Define your goals clearly. Make them specific and, whenever possible, measurable. Earn enough to buy a home by age 35 is clearer than be rich someday. Run a marathon by next year is clearer than get in shape. When your goals are this clear, even in moments of uncertainty or doubt, you can look at what you've written and regain your bearings. Your goals become your North Star, guiding you through the darkest nights. Let your goals bring order to the chaos of life. Let them impose discipline on your daily actions and decisions. When you know where you're headed, you don't waste time on distractions or detours that don't matter. Clear goals give you the confidence to say no to what isn't important and an enthusiastic yes to the steps that carry you forward. They provide certainty when life throws uncertainty at you. A person without a goal is like a ship without a sail, vulnerable to every change in the wind and every sudden storm. But a person with a well-defined goal is like a ship with a strong sail and a trusty compass. They become the captain of their destiny, steering toward their chosen destination no matter what winds blow. They become a creator and a conqueror of their own fate rather than a victim of circumstance. Never forget, clarity is not a gift, it is a discipline. You get better at it with practice, so practice it. Write down your aims, refine them, clarify them, and keep them front and center in your life. Live by them. If you do this, one day in the future you will look back on your journey with pride. You'll know that the life you built wasn't a product of luck or aimless wandering, but of intention and vision. You knew where you wanted to go, and so you went there. That is the power of clear vision and bold goals. Build resilience through persistence. One of the most celebrated leaders in history, Abraham Lincoln, endured a lifetime of setbacks before he ever tasted success. Long before he held the highest office in the land, Lincoln's story was riddled with failure, rejection, and personal tragedy. He lost multiple elections. He failed in business. He suffered deep personal losses that would have made many people give up on their dreams entirely. By any conventional measure, Lincoln had every reason to be broken and to quit trying. Yet he did not quit. He kept moving forward when others would have turned back. Why did Lincoln persevere when so much was against him? Because he understood a fundamental truth. Failure does not define you. Persistence does. He refused to let setbacks become the final verdict on his ambitions. Each defeat was not a dead end to him, but rather a bend in the road, an opportunity to adjust his course. Every disappointment was, in his eyes, an invitation to grow stronger and wiser. That relentless forward motion, that unyielding spirit to continue despite the pain, is what transformed a struggling man into a legendary leader remembered for generations. The same principle holds true for you. The road to greatness is never a straight line, nor is it paved with comfort and ease. It is usually rough, winding, and filled with unexpected obstacles. But hidden within those very obstacles is a gift. They are the proving grounds for your future self. Each challenge tests you, shapes you, and teaches you the skills and strength needed for the next leg of your journey. When you encounter obstacles, and you inevitably will, you face a simple choice: retreat or rise. You can let the storms of life batter you into surrender, or you can let those storms chisel your character into something stronger. Will you allow difficulties to intimidate you into stopping, or will you meet them head-on as Lincoln did, using them to sharpen your resolve? Understand that the people who achieve greatness are not those who never had hardships. They are the ones who refuse to stop despite them. A setback is not a sign that you're on the wrong path. Often it's evidence that you're on a path worth walking. If it were challenging, it probably wouldn't be meaningful. Every struggle you endure is teaching you something valuable. Every failure is honing your skills and insight. Every fall is building in you a resilience that cannot be developed in any other way. And resilience is not something you're born with. It's something you earn through experience. Resilience is forged in the fires of adversity. It's built in those moments when you feel like giving up, but choose to press on anyway. Think about it. When everything inside you is screaming to quit and you still move forward, you prove to yourself that you're stronger than the circumstances. In those moments, not only do your actions grow stronger, your belief in yourself grows stronger too. Pushing through fear, doubt, and pain shows you that you can survive and even thrive amid difficulty. You start to realize that pain is temporary, but the growth you gain and the progress you make are permanent. Reflect on any great figure you admire, whether it's Lincoln, Edison, Nelson Mandela, Eleanor Roosevelt, or anyone who changed the world. Every single one of them walked through fire. Each one of them was told at some point that their goals were impossible. Each one faced failures and defeats, sometimes many of them, but they all have one thing in common: they never gave up. They kept going when others said it was hopeless. Because they persisted, they didn't just achieve success. They became symbols of what is possible when a human being refuses to quit. Now turn inward and ask yourself, what will define me? Will it be the moments when things went wrong? The failures, the rejections, the times you fell short? Or will it be how you responded in those moments? Will you allow those setbacks to write your story? Or will you pick up the pen and write your own triumphant ending? When adversity hits, will you bow your head? Or will you stand up like Lincoln and prove that no storm can break your spirit? Do not wish for an easier life. Instead, wish for the strength and fortitude to endure a meaningful life. An easy life may feel comfortable, but a meaningful life, one filled with purpose, achievement, and impact, will challenge you. It will demand your resilience. It will test how badly you want your dream, and it will reward you if you keep the faith and keep moving forward. So keep pressing on, one step at a time. Conquer your challenges one by one. Let the world throw its worst at you. You are here not to crumble, but to respond with determination. You are here to build yourself through the struggle, to learn from every setback, and to rise stronger each time. And in the end, when you look back on all the storms you weathered, you won't feel bitterness or regret. You will feel proud. You will value the struggle because it showed you what you're truly made of. It's precisely through those trials that you discovered your strength, your courage, and your resilience. Remember, resilience is what turns ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. Every legendary hero, every success story began as an ordinary person who simply refused to stay down. Let your challenges shape you into the hero of your own story. Let resilience turn you into the legend you were born to become. Avoid the comparison trap. The instant you begin comparing yourself to someone else, you surrender your power. In that moment, you start to diminish your own unique value. What was a clear vision of your path suddenly becomes blurred by doubt and dissatisfaction. Comparison is a surefire way to derail your progress. It plants confusion where there used to be confidence. Always remember that your journey is distinctly yours. No one else has lived your life, fought your battles, or dreamed your dreams. Therefore, no one else's progress is an appropriate measuring stick for your own. You insult your uniqueness when you try to gauge your worth by someone else's achievements. Consider the story of Ray Kroc, the businessman behind the global explosion of McDonald's. When Kroc first encountered the McDonald brothers' small hamburger stand in California, he did something remarkable. He refused to compare their success or timeline to any other. He didn't waste time wondering if he was as good as other restaurant owners or whether he could replicate someone else's formula. He wasn't interested in what others were building at all. He was laser-focused on his vision of what that little burger drink could become. He pursued that vision with almost tunnel vision focus. The result? Ray Kroc took a humble little stand and transformed it into an empire spanning the globe. He achieved this not by looking sideways at competitors, but by looking straight ahead at his own goal. His eyes stayed on his mission, not on the metrics of those around him, and that made all the difference. This illustrates a vital truth. Comparison is a thief. It will rob you of joy and contentment. It will cloud your clarity and poison your progress. When you measure yourself against someone else, you're playing a rigged game. You see only the highlight reel of their life, not the behind-the-scenes struggles. You see the crown they're wearing, but not the crosses they had to bear to earn it. In doing so, you set yourself up to feel less than, based on an illusion. Meanwhile, you overlook the value of your own journey and how far you've come. Obsessing over someone else's timeline causes you to abandon your own. If you're constantly looking at where others are, you'll lose sight of the path that's right in front of you. You may start chasing goals that were never really yours, simply because you think achieving them will put you on par with someone else. Eventually, you end up exhausted, frustrated, and lost. Not because you weren't capable, but because you veered away from being yourself. You failed to honor your own calling. Understand this. Your purpose in life is not to outshine or outperform somebody else. You are here to become the best, boldest, truest version of you. That best version of you cannot be realized by constantly glancing over your shoulder at what others are doing. It is realized by looking straight within and creating, learning, and growing from your experiences. The only comparison that matters is this. Are you better today than you were yesterday? Measure your progress against your past self and no one else. Did you gain knowledge you lacked a year ago? Have you developed skills or habits that make you stronger than you were before? Have you moved even a single step closer to a personal goal? If so, then you are on the right track, even if the world hasn't noticed yet. Success is not always loud or immediate. Often, greatness begins quietly, in the shadows without applause. Your chapter 2 might seem unimpressive next to someone else's chapter 20, but that doesn't mean you're behind. It means you're writing your own story. Don't let envy distract you from excellence. Don't let someone else's peak make you feel low about your starting point. Each of us is running our own race on our own time. If you keep building, step by step, day by day, refining your craft, deepening your knowledge, nurturing your relationships, the results will come in due time. Be patient with yourself as you grow, but be relentless about maintaining your focus. And above all, be loyal to your own path. Remember, success isn't about finishing first in a race nobody else can run. It's not about winning someone else's competition. Real success is about finishing your race and doing it with integrity, passion, and purpose. So reclaim the power you give away when you compare. Bring your focus back to center. Tune out the noise that says you should be somewhere you're not. Shut down that comparison trap every time it starts to snare you. If you ever feel the urge to measure your life against another's, take a deep breath and remind yourself, I am not here to compete. I am here to create. You're here to create your own journey, your own successes, and your own fulfillment. Let your path unfold as it's meant to, without constantly peeking over at your neighbor's progress. Let your personal growth be the guide for what comes next. And let your vision, not the world's, define what success means in your life. The truth is, when you finally stop comparing, you finally start living. In that space of freedom from comparison, you'll find contentment, focus, and a surge of creative energy. In that freedom, your true greatness will have the room to rise to its full height. Embrace continuous learning and adaptability. The world around us is in constant motion. Change is the only constant. Life does not reward those who stand still and rigid in their ways. It rewards those who stay curious, flexible, and committed to continuous growth. In times of rapid change, the individuals who thrive are not the ones who resist or fear the new. They are the ones who eagerly learn, adapt, and evolve with the world. Think of Henry Ford. He was born with no special advantages, no wealth or high status handed to him. Yet he revolutionized transportation and industry. How? One key factor was an insatiable desire to learn and improve. Henry Ford refused to accept the status quo. He constantly asked, how can this be better? What don't I know yet that I need to learn? He envisioned a world where automobiles were accessible to everyone, and then he set out to acquire the knowledge and innovation needed to make that vision real. Ford's success was not just the result of a single brilliant idea. It was the product of relentless curiosity and a willingness to innovate year after year. Mr. Ford questioned everything. He tested new ideas when others were complacent. He studied processes, learned from mistakes, and adapted his approach continually. Through this mindset of perpetual learning and flexibility, he didn't just build a better car. He changed the way industries around the world operated. His legacy in manufacturing, the assembly line, for example, was born from his philosophy that there's always a better way, and that it's our job to find it through learning. This path of lifelong learning and adaptation is available to you as well. In fact, it's essential. The moment you convince yourself that you've learned enough or grown enough is the moment your decline begins. Success is not static. It's not a finish line you cross and then stop. Success is dynamic and ever-evolving, because the world around you keeps changing. To stay successful, indeed to just stay relevant, you must keep evolving too. Never stop expanding your horizons. Read another book. Ask another question. Seek out mentors and experts who know things you don't. Challenge the beliefs we've held for a long time. Some of them may be outdated now. Push beyond the boundaries of what feels comfortable and familiar. Step into the unknown with the confidence that every time you do, you'll come out wiser and stronger. It is in the unfamiliar that you grow the most. It is in the moments of uncertainty and even discomfort that you discover new capabilities within yourself. Being adaptable is not a sign of weakness or inconsistency. It's a sign of intelligence and strength. Adapting doesn't mean you abandon your values or goals. It means you find new and better ways to achieve them. Think of adaptability as being like water. Water flows and changes shape to fit its path, but it's still water. In the same way, you can pivot and adjust your methods while still remaining true to your purpose. The most powerful people are often the most adaptable. They can encounter an unexpected obstacle and, without missing a beat, find a way around it or through it, all while keeping their eyes on their destination. Keep in mind that things will not always go according to your plan. Markets shift. Technology advances. Your job description today might be handled by a machine tomorrow. Relationships and circumstances evolve. If you cling stubbornly to the way it's always been, you will be left behind as the world marches forward. But if you see learning as a lifelong journey, if you treat every day as an opportunity to grow, then you carry with you the fuel of endless renewal. You become like a tree that keeps extending new branches and roots, drawing strength from change rather than fearing it. Every new piece of knowledge you gain, every skill you master, every lesson you learn becomes part of your toolkit. With a richer toolkit, you can tackle bigger challenges and navigate more complex terrains. It's like leveling up in a game. Each level makes you more capable of handling what comes next. Embrace that mindset of leveling up continuously. Try approaching each day as if you're a student and the world is your classroom. When something goes wrong, resist the urge to see it as failure or proof of inadequacy. Instead, ask yourself, what is this teaching me? Maybe a failed project is teaching you a better way to manage time, or to communicate more clearly, or to be more patient. Maybe a difficult conversation is teaching you empathy or resilience. There's a lesson embedded in every experience, and if you look for it, you will find it. This mindset transforms every setback into a stepping stone. At the same time, guard against the greatest enemy of growth, comfort. Comfort whispers to you that this is enough. It invites you to rest on your laurels. It lulls you with the idea that you don't need to push any further. While there is a place for rest and contentment, be careful. Too much comfort can stagnate you. Comfort zones, by definition, do not expand. If you linger there too long, you stop growing and eventually you start declining. Remember, comfort is the silent killer of potential. It convinces you to settle for less than you could achieve. But you are meant for more than mere comfort. You are meant to continuously become a better version of yourself. Every time you choose to do what's a little hard instead of what's easy, every time you pick up a new skill instead of saying, "I don't need to learn that," every time you accept a new challenge instead of staying in safe familiarity, you become a more capable, more resilient, more powerful person. So embrace the journey of continuous learning. Take that course that intrigues you. Sit down with people who know things you don't and ask them questions. Seek feedback on how you can improve and actually implement it. When something in your life or career isn't working anymore, be willing to change it. Let go of methods or habits that no longer serve you and make space for new ones that will elevate you to the next level. The future doesn't belong to those who claim to already know everything. It belongs to those who are eager to learn something new every day. It belongs to those who adapt and grow instead of standing still. Decide that you will be one of those people. Adapt, grow, rise. In choosing to learn continually, you choose to lead, because you'll always be steps ahead of where you were yesterday. In choosing to adapt, you choose to master your own destiny, because you'll be prepared to handle whatever changes come your way. The world will belong to those who never stop becoming more. Be one of them. Ignite your passion and purpose. Passion is the heartbeat of any great achievement. It's the invisible fire that fuels your journey and makes the impossible feel possible. If you lack passion for what you're doing, every task can feel like a burden and every obstacle like an insurmountable wall. But when passion is at the center of your work, everything changes. Challenges become energizing, and even hard work feels meaningful and rewarding. Look at Helen Keller as an extraordinary example of passion and purpose in action. Left blind and deaf before the age of 2, Helen's world was initially one of silence and darkness. By any reasonable expectation, she could have lived a small, quiet life defined by those limitations. But she did not accept that fate. She didn't surrender to her circumstances. Driven by a burning desire to connect with others, to learn, and to contribute to the world, Helen Keller shattered every expectation. She became an author, a renowned speaker, and an inspiration to millions. She traveled the globe, advocating for the rights of people with disabilities and spreading a message of hope. What was the key to her incredible triumph over adversity? Passion. Helen had an intense passion for knowledge, for communication, and for uplifting others. That passion fueled her courage and perseverance despite unimaginable odds. The same powerful force of passion exists within you. You might not face challenges as extreme as Helen Keller's, but you have your own obstacles and hardships. To rise above them, to lead a fulfilling and impactful life, you must find and ignite the passion that already lives inside you. Think of passion as your personal internal flame. If it's left unlit, life can feel dull, cold, and difficult. But once it's sparked, that fire will illuminate your path and warm everyone around you. So ask yourself, what lights a fire in my soul? What work or activity makes you lose track of time because you love it so much? What topic or idea can you talk about for hours with excitement? What goal gives you goosebumps just thinking about it? Those questions point toward your passion, your calling. It might be a creative pursuit, a career, a cause, a skill, or a vision for the kind of life you want to lead. Whatever it is, identify it. When you discover that thing that truly makes you come alive, your entire world will transform. Tasks that used to feel boring or difficult will start to carry a sense of purpose. A long day spent working on something you're passionate about won't drain you. It will invigorate you. Obstacles in your path will still appear, but you'll view them differently, as puzzles to solve in service of your passion, not as roadblocks that stop you from moving forward. With passion fueling you, you'll no longer have to push yourself to get things done. The passion pulls you. It becomes an internal engine that drives you forward from within. You wake up excited about what you get to work on. Your focus sharpens. You become almost magnetic, drawing in opportunities and inspiring people around you, because genuine enthusiasm is contagious. When your life is filled with purpose, others can sense it, and many will be drawn to help or cheer you on. Passion is what turns ordinary individuals into extraordinary achievers. It gives you the stamina to keep going when others would quit. It gives you bravery to take risks or to stand up for what you believe in, even if you stand alone. It makes you willing to do things that others might label unrealistic, because your heart knows what's possible, and it refuses to settle for less. However, it's important to understand that passion isn't usually something that just falls into your lap one day. Often, you have to discover it. Sometimes your passion is obvious to you. Perhaps you've loved art or science or helping people for as long as you can remember. Other times, it starts as a quiet whisper or a vague feeling of interest that you need to explore further. You may need to try new activities, experiment in different fields, and yes, perhaps even stumble and fail a few times to truly uncover what sets your soul on fire. And that's okay. Finding your passion is a journey in itself. Once you do find that deep passion, hold on to it and never let it go. Protect it and feed it like the precious flame that it is. Dedicate yourself to it. Cultivate it with practice, study, and engagement. Structure your life as much as possible around the things that matter most to you. When the world tries to distract you or naysayers try to pull you onto a different path, return to your passion. Let it serve as your compass when you need direction and your fuel when you're running low. Allow your passion to guide major decisions in your life. Let it influence the career you pursue, the projects you undertake, the people you associate with, and even how you spend your free time. When passion infuses your actions, work stops being just work. It becomes an expression of your values and joys. Your days gain a sense of meaning. Even on the tough days, you'll know why you're enduring, and that why will carry you through. The truth is, the most successful and fulfilled people in the world are rarely the ones who had the most money, the best connections, or even the highest IQ. They are the ones who have the most fire inside. That fire, the love for what they do or the zeal for what they believe in, enables them to endure hardships that would break others. It pushes them to find solutions when a purely logical mind would say, give up. In many ways, passion makes you unstoppable. So do not settle for a lukewarm existence. Don't resign yourself to a life of going through the motions or doing what others think you should do, all while feeling empty inside. Don't smother your inner fire with too much comfort or constant distractions. Find your passion and pour yourself into it without reservation. Life is too short and too precious to live without enthusiasm and purpose. With passion burning within you, no dream is too far-fetched. With that fire, you won't just live, you will thrive. You will radiate energy and inspiration, lighting the way for others as well as yourself. You will lead by example, because nothing is more compelling than someone fiercely engaged with what they love. You will wake up each day eager and go to bed fulfilled. Let your purpose be the magnetic force that continuously pulls you forward. Even when things get tough, let your heart beat strongly with the excitement of pursuing something meaningful. And as you chase your calling with every ounce of passion you can summon, don't worry about whether anyone notices. They will. When you are lit from within, you become a beacon. The world can't help but notice the glow. But by the time they do, you won't even need their validation. You'll be too busy living a life that you love. A life on fire with purpose. As your passion blazes, your light will be impossible to ignore. Harness the power of positive thinking. Your mind is the most powerful tool you possess. It is not merely a storage space for memories or facts. It's a workshop where tomorrow's reality is being built. The thoughts you consistently think shape who you become. The things you focus on habitually will manifest in one form or another in your life. In a very real sense, the world you see outside is a reflection of the world you have created inside your mind. This isn't just motivational talk. History and psychology bear it out. Norman Vincent Peale, author of The Power of Positive Thinking, understood this truth with unwavering clarity. He championed positive thinking not as a naive feel-good mantra, but as a practical strategy for transforming one's life. Through his teachings, countless individuals learned to break free from the prison of self-doubt and negativity and step into a life of possibility and achievement. How? By changing the conversation in their own heads from one of defeat to one of hope and determination. Understand that positive thinking is not about pretending everything is perfect. It's not a denial of reality or a suppression of honest emotions. Positive thinking is a disciplined way of using your mind as an asset rather than a liability. It's a strength that allows you to approach life with optimism and resilience. When you cultivate a positive mindset, you aren't ignoring the challenges in front of you. You are choosing to believe that those challenges can be overcome. When you consistently nurture positive thoughts, your entire perspective shifts. Challenges no longer appear as permanent roadblocks. Instead, they become stepping stones, opportunities. To learn and advance, a setback transforms from a sign of failure into a valuable lesson for your future success. Even failure itself stops being a verdict on your worth. It becomes feedback on what didn't work, a guide for how to improve next time. With a positive mindset, you stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What is this trying to teach me?" That subtle shift in perspective unleashes tremendous power. Remember, your thoughts shape your decisions, your actions, and ultimately, your outcomes. A mind flooded with negativity will find every reason to hesitate, to complain, or to quit. A mind radiating positivity will find solutions others miss. It will see glimmers of light where others see only darkness. When you maintain a positive outlook, you begin to align yourself with solutions. You tap into greater creativity because you're not fixated on the problem. You're focused on possibilities. You bounce back faster from setbacks because you inherently believe there's a way forward. This mindset also tends to attract others to you. People are drawn to positive energy. They want to work with, support, and be around someone who lifts them up rather than drags them down. Doors tend to open for those who approach life with a can-do attitude that says, "Challenges are there to be overcome." Now, positive thinking does not mean life will suddenly be easy or that you'll never have negative thoughts again. Pain, grief, and difficulties are parts of life, and feeling them is natural. Positive thinking means that in spite of those realities, you choose not to dwell in despair. It's about facing the darkness while still believing in the light. It's walking through the fire and trusting that you'll come out the other side, perhaps even stronger for it. To harness the power of positivity, you must actively cultivate your mindset every day. Think of it like tending a garden. You need to plant good seeds and pull out the weeds. Start each morning by setting a positive intention or affirmation. For example, "I am capable of handling whatever comes today." Or, "Today I will find opportunities in every challenge." Some people find visualization helpful, picturing their goals as if they are already achieved, to train their mind to believe it's possible. Others read or listen to something inspirational to set the tone for the day. Find what works for you and make it a routine. Be very mindful of what and who you allow to influence your mind. Surround yourself with positive influences as much as you can. Supportive friends, encouraging books or podcasts, environments that uplift you. This doesn't mean ignoring constructive criticism or living in a bubble. But it does mean protecting your mental environment. Your mind is your personal sanctuary. Guard it like a treasure. When a negative thought pops up, and it will, because no one is positive 100% of the time, pause and challenge it. Don't accept every worry or self-criticism as truth. Ask yourself if the thought is fact or just fear. If it's the latter, consciously replace it with a more empowering thought. For instance, if you catch yourself thinking, "I'll probably fail at this," stop and reframe it. "Failure is possible, but if I prepare and do my best, I give myself a great chance to succeed. And even if I stumble, I'll learn something valuable." See how that switch keeps you moving forward? Make it a habit to redirect your mind toward a constructive outlook whenever you find it drifting toward negativity. It can be as simple as telling yourself, "No, I'm not going to dwell on that. I'll focus on what I can do." In doing so, you reclaim control over your narrative. You remind yourself, as often as necessary, "This is not how my story ends." You assert that you, not your fears or doubts, are the author of your life. Keep in mind that your internal world, your thoughts and beliefs, is constantly creating your external world. If you want a brighter future, it truly begins by cultivating brighter thoughts right now. See yourself as strong, capable, worthy, and full of potential before any evidence shows up. The great innovators and changemakers of history, from Martin Luther King Jr. to Steve Jobs, all had this in common. They believed in a vision or in themselves long before there was proof. Their positive belief carried them through the times when nobody else could see what they saw. You hold that same power of belief within you. Use it. Think of your thoughts as the blueprint and bricks of a building you are constructing. Choose the best materials. Frame your mental house with thoughts of confidence, love, possibility, and determination. When doubt or negativity start creeping in like rot, repair it quickly with firm, positive reinforcement. Build your future with intention. Lay down each brick of thought with purpose. Construct your goals in your mind with the expectation that they will come to pass with effort and time. When you consistently feed your mind with empowering thoughts, you create a solid foundation on which to stand, no matter what comes. The future truly belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams and the power of their thoughts. When you believe deeply in a vision, you begin to act in ways that make it real. And strangely enough, the world often begins to help you in unexpected ways. It's as if the universe responds to the unwavering positive belief by paving a few extra inches of the road for you. So let your thoughts lead you toward the future you desire. Fill your mind with the belief that good things are possible, that you are capable, and that every day is moving you closer to your destiny. As you harness the power of positive thinking, you'll find that life starts to meet you at the level of your expectations. Over time, the external reality will catch up with the positive world you've envisioned in your mind, and you'll be ready to greet it with open arms. Take decisive action. All the knowledge and plans in the world mean nothing without action. Dreams, no matter how vivid or inspiring, do not build themselves. The critical ingredient that separates those who merely imagine from those who achieve is simple: decisive action. Throughout history, the individuals who left a lasting mark were often not the ones with the most talent or the most elaborate schemes. They were the ones who acted while others hesitated. They stepped forward while others stood still. In doing so, they shaped their destinies and often the world around them. Think of Amelia Earhart. She didn't just daydream about flying. She took to the skies and made aviation history. In an era when women were actively discouraged from such daring pursuits, Earhart stepped into a cockpit and boldly flew into the unknown. Her actions shattered societal barriers and inspired generations to follow. Importantly, she didn't wait for universal approval or perfect conditions. She felt the pull of her passion and she moved, turning her dream of flight into a reality. Through her decisive action, she carved her name into history. You too carry dreams in your heart and ideas in your mind. Perhaps you've accumulated knowledge, plans, and skills over the years. But none of that will make a difference until you actually do something with it. The world will not reward you for what you intend to do or what you might do someday. It rewards what